We're going to do a short video right now explaining rhythm as we've demonstrated in the slower speed videos, and I guess as we'll be practicing it throughout the Banjo Clinic, right, Geoff?
Yes, and you're probably wondering, why is Geoff Hohwald playing the guitar? In fact, why is Geoff Hohwald playing Rick Taylor's guitar and Rick Taylor's playing Geoff Hohwald's banjo?
Nice, very nice banjo. Well, it's all because of this. See that?
Rick hurt his finger.
I cut the end of my finger off cutting the collard greens, and not quite the end, but part of the end of my finger, and she's healing up and should be fine. We're going to get a close-up now. Oh, yeah, there it is. See, I've got a bandage stretched across. There it is. Hello.
Yeah.
My finger's hurt. My finger's hurt. So anyway, until it gets better, I'm doing kind of light duty on the instruments, which means Geoff is on guitar, and I'm just playing the muted chop on the banjo, which is something we've talked about a lot.
I didn't like that click. Hit.
Anyway. Yes, Geoff, how many times can you bang my guitar into the door?
So,
all right, so what are we doing
we're
here?
doing when we play rhythm, there's a downbeat and an upbeat. Now the bass, which we don't have a bass, usually plays the downbeat. So the guitar is going to play the downbeat, which is, so if we're playing against the G chord, it's, and they call that 1-5, and 1-5 just means if you're in the key of G, and G's 1, G is 1, A 2, B 3, C 4, and D's 5. So you're playing the G note and then the fifth note of the scale. That's called 1-5. Now you need that beat. Now the other thing that's real important, which gives the music the drive, is the offbeat, which Rick will play a simple. Now you want it to be as concise as possible, very little sustain, and so just play an offbeat. Boop. See, so basically, that's your rhythm. Now a lot of people think, well, gee, that's great. I'm a beginner, so I'll just play that. And as soon as I can, I'm going to get awful fancy on it. So all of a sudden, you have people start doing stuff like now play some funk. Okay, now when you do that, the problem is, where is the, and we'll play a simple again. I'll give you a lead. We're going to just sing about a couple lines of Blueridge Cabin Home so you can hear what the rhythm sounds like. So, and I'll give Lick. I'm sorry, we're not in Japan. Lots of ruck. I'll give Rick, that's reverse. Anyway, I'll give Rick a lead in.
Well, beaten path on this old mountainside where I wander when I was a lad.
All right, so why does the guitar need to strum? Very simply, it gives you the chord basis. So he's going to sing it again, and actually you don't even need to play on this one.
There's a well-beaten path on this old mountainside where I wandered when I was a lad.
Okay, so that gives you the chord basis. Now, if you were playing a G note, just that, you don't know what chord that G note is. For example, play it loud. If you don't know whether to play or an E minor. See,
there it is.
Without the guitar playing the chord, you have no clue what chords you're playing based on listening to
just the one note.
The one note, or even the melody. Okay, so that's why the guitar strums. Now the banjo can play a chord, like give me an example. So play, just chop a G and then sing this well-beaten path. But let the chord
There's a
ring.
well-beaten path on this old mountainside where I wandered when I was a lad.
So anybody can do the chords, okay? But the guitar is the main chord person, and generally the mandolin or the banjo will do a muted chop. Okay. Now, if there's no bass, then the guitar has much more responsibility. Now you'll notice I don't even have to strum. See, I'm just playing bass notes. And that gives you a nice rhythm. Now,
There's a well-beaten path on this old mountainside where I wandered when I was a lad. And I wandered...
okay, now the other thing that's going on is I was filming the last one. Just go ahead and chop. If I want to be in sync with Rick, what I'm doing, I will watch his hand. I will actually be looking at his hand. And I'll make sure that my hand is moving. Now, sometimes if you're on stage and you can't really hear very well, I can still watch his hand, and I can make sure that my hand does the downstroke as he's playing the offbeat chop.
There's a well-beaten path on this old mountainside where I wandered when I was a lad.
Okay, now the other thing is, if you do want to play some licks and some interesting things, there are spaces at the end of most lines where the singer's taking a breath, okay? Now, and we'll do that, illustrate that. I'll play some guitar stuff during those two measures, and I'll give you... The other thing is during the song, you'll sometimes the bass, some of the guitar will do lead-ins, which lets everybody know where the chord changes are. So I'm going to do a lead-in, get into G.
There's a well-beaten path on this old mountainside where I wandered, where I was a lad. When I wandered alone to that place I call home, in those Blueridge hills far away. Oh, I love those hills of old Virginia. From those Blueridge hills I did roam.
So when he was doing the singing, he got to the end. Now, Blueridge Cabin Home is interesting because you sing 3 verses and there's really not much spaces in there at all. It's just at the end of the last verse that you will...
or the last line of the verse.
last line, I'm sorry. The last line is you'll actually hear that. Okay, so those are just a few little tips, and we'll go ahead and play Blueridge Cabin Home, just the verse, chorus one time, and I'll do a few of these things, and hopefully you can watch and identify what's going on.
Okay. There's a well-beaten path in this old mountainside where I wandered when I was a lad. And I wandered alone to that place I call home, in those Blueridge hills far away. Oh, I love those hills of old Virginia. From those Blueridge hills I did